winders and a bright orange pair of pants. Well, you could really be a Beau Brummel, baby, if you just give it half a chance. Don't waste your money on a new set of speakers. You get more mileage from a cheap pair of sneakers.
Hello, and welcome back to This Week in Sports for Friday, February 2nd, 2018. I'm Jack Kroll, and alongside me is Joe Forbes. Joe, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good on this Groundhog Day, Punxsutawney Phil and all that, but, also in Pennsylvania, there's the Eagles.
There is the Eagles.
Yeah.
They were in the playoffs, and they still are, actually, as the NFL playoffs have been incredible so far. There was a miracle in Minnesota. The number one seed, or underdog, Eagles, have made it to the Super Bowl with their backup quarterback. The Patriots have made it to the Super Bowl, again, surprise there. What have you taken away so far from these playoffs?
That the quarterbacks have been either the most experienced in the league or the least experienced in the league. I mean, we've had Nick Foles, Blake Bortles, Marcus Mariota.
Case
Keenum. Like, these quarterbacks have been – it's been crazy.
It is. It really has been. It's been –
it's been pretty much a lot of the teams have had great defenses. And, again, defense wins championships. We saw pretty much the Eagles shut out the Vikings at the Link this past 2 weekends ago at the conference championship. But yeah, a lot of these teams.
There was a lot. There was just a lot that happened in these playoffs. The Jaguars being able to completely just shut out the Bills.
Yeah,
the wild card weekend.
Bills' offense isn't that great, anyways.
No,
but
if you hold any team to 3 points, that's pretty impressive.
You only scored 10 though. But
yeah, defense.
You win a game. You win a game. Overall, playoffs have been very interesting because it's either been so much offense or no offense at all. It's just flipping flopping. The miracle at Minnesota was definitely the best game.
Yeah, I know. Actually, some of my friends were at that game, and they said it was the most loud they've ever heard anything.
I'd bet. That was such a shock. The last play. Stephon Diggs catches it, and Marcus Williams just whiffs on the tackle. Very, very crazy play.
It was.
And not only that, that was after the Vikings, blew their 24-0 lead.
I thought it was 17-0.
17-0, 24-0.
Yeah, 24, similar there. But that was one incredible game. Also, Marcus Mariota threw a touchdown pass to himself.
Yeah, well, he sure did need a lot more touchdowns when he played the Patriots, though. And the Patriots continue to dominate the NFL again. Right now in the postseason, they're 7-0 in the past 2 years.
They are. Now.
So, we'll see how that goes. The Super Bowl, though, in Minnesota.
Vikings were 1 win away from having a home Super Bowl.
Yeah, so how do you think that the Patriots-Eagles Super Bowl is going to go?
I don't know. I think it's going to be it's either going to be extremely, extremely close, like within a field goal, or completely lopsided.
Well, my thing is that, and this is where we're going to end it off on this topic, is that I think that no matter what, there's going to be a team that's going to get off to a hot start, and it's going to come down to the wire.
I will say, if there's going to be a team that comes off with a hot start, the Patriots have not been having hot starts in Super Bowls. I will say that out of the last three Super Bowls.
That's very consistent.
Last year obviously being down 28-3 against Atlanta.
Yeah.
And
the Seattle Super Bowl.
Yeah, Seattle Super Bowl. They were off to a slow start as well. So if there's going to be a team with a hot start, my money would be on Philadelphia.
Yeah, and also the one last thing I got to say is that to beat the Eagles, they got to keep them on their feet. Patriots need to really run a no huddle because
yeah, they do.
Once this Eagles defense gets gassed, you can totally beat them. Nick Foles, I'm not 100% sure in his ability to play in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he's been saying that all along throughout these playoffs, so you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
And the Eagles have been an incredible story. No one thought of anything like this year at all. No one figured Carson Wentz would do what he did, and then when he went down, Nick Foles has done his job and been able to win games.
He was borderline Rookie of the Year pretty much last year.
but no one expected much from this team. No one expected them to win the
That's one
NFC
thing that bothers
East.
me, though, because being the number 1 seed, I don't really see how you're an underdog. I mean, you've seen their dominance, and I don't know. I mean, you can't really label yourself as an underdog, because really you're not an underdog. It's actually a pretty balanced game. I mean, the line's 5.5 for the Patriots, but I mean, just because betting and Vegas says so, I mean, it's going to be these teams are pretty closely matched.
Yeah, they are. I mean, the Patriots obviously having one of the top offenses in the league. Obviously, Tom Brady as quarterback, Bill Belichick with the head coach. But the Eagles, they're a very inexperienced team, a team that is very just you don't know what to expect from them, especially in this big of a stage.
Yeah, so I mean, they could either go 38-7 against the Vikings to the Patriots, or they could end up losing that game pretty bad. They could be the equivalent to the 35-7, 35-14 Patriots-Titans. Like, we don't know what's going to happen.
We really don't. I don't know. I think the Eagles will pull away with the Super Bowl. I think it's going to be within a field goal. I really do. I think it's going to be. I'm going to say 27-30.
My honest prediction, 31-17.
In favor of
Patriots.
Okay. And with that, now we're going to move into the Baseball Hall of Fame class of 2018, which is now set. The inductees will be Trevor Hoffman, Vladimir Guerrero, Jim Thome, and Chipper Jones. First of all, congratulations to those four as they'll be immortalized in the MLB community this summer. What are your thoughts on the selections?
I mean, Chipper Jones has definitely been one of the better third basemen in our generation.
Yes, he has.
A very, very good hitter, and a pretty great fielder there too.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's great leader for the Braves. Probably one of the best players to be in Braves history. Yeah. And so, I mean, I'm glad to see Chipper.
Well, let's not get too far ahead.
Not too far ahead.
I mean,
he's had almost 2 decades of success on the Braves, and again, I mean, he's going to be in the Hall of Fame now.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're going to go best of in Braves history, you have
one of the best.
Well, yeah, without a doubt, one of the best. I wouldn't consider him the best.
Mount Rushmore of Braves, I'd put Chipper Jones on there.
Yeah, I would. Also, Trevor Hoffman, who I thought should have gotten a while ago, considering he has the second most saves in MLB history, obviously behind Mariano Rivera. But I thought he should have gotten a while ago. Yes, there was obviously some doubt with him not performing in the postseason, but if you're that high up in anything without any asterisks, I think you should be able to get in.
The thing is that the Padres, though in my book, he's the second best closer of all time. The Padres are not much of a winning organization, and so that's kind of I see where the struggle was. And with players like Ken Griffey Jr. coming out of last year's Hall of Fame, I mean,
and obviously Mariano Rivera coming into next year's class as well.
So that's exciting, and that's something to look forward to.
I really am. I was actually surprised last year when Vladimir Guerrero did not get in, considering he had over 318 lifetime. He was
an MVP.
Yeah, he was. So he had one of the best arms I've ever seen personally.
Yeah, and again, a very great power hitter, just like Jim Thome as well. I mean, those two guys are great power hitters, and really not much asterisk there with the PEDs. So that's something that, like, these are 2 genuine power sluggers. And again, Guerrero was one of the best outfielders I've ever seen play.
Although the couple of guys I thought got snubbed was Edgar Martinez and Mike Mussina, who, I mean, Edgar Martinez was, I would say, the first full-time DH in the major leagues, and he was, right up there with Ken Griffey Jr. on the importance in the Seattle Mariners.
And he came very close, actually.
Yes, he did. He was only, I believe, 5% away. So I think he's gonna get it next year. And other guy, Mike Mussina,
Mussina, great Yankee,
amazing Yankee
pitcher.
And Oriole, who was an incredible pitcher. You don't see anyone like him now, like a workhorse, just could give you 9 innings if you needed to. You don't see anything
pretty
like
great
that now.
ERA, pretty much across until his final years as a player.
And you know what? I would I would consider all of these players a superstar, as the Los Angeles Clippers have traded their superstar Blake Griffin to the Detroit Pistons, and it's very.
I mean, yeah, the Blake Griffin trade was pretty great because, I mean, I think both teams are gonna. It's kind of like a wash to me. I mean, It's great that the Pistons have another superstar and all in their front court, and the Clippers, just so everyone knows, they traded Blake Griffin, Willie Reed, and Bryce Johnson, which are all power forwards.
They are.
And they traded them for Tobias Harris, who is the actual leading scorer for the Pistons this season so far, Avery Bradley, and a first-round pick and a second-round pick.
So I mean, the Pistons really wanted Griffin, and I mean, obviously you were gonna have to give up a pretty penny for him, but I mean,
they're already going to be taking over that huge 5-year, $173 million contract, and he's only half a season into that. So I mean, with that, Blake Griffin is going to probably try and do the Twin Towers, Anthony Davis, Boogie Cousins type of ordeal.
With Andre Drummond in there.
And I mean, they're definitely going to make a great push. Now it's going to really challenge the teams like the 76ers,
and the Knicks,
who are in the bottom of that playoff pile right there. So I mean, it's definitely going to be interesting, and they're definitely going to be a challenging 8, 7, 6 seed to be playing against once playoffs comes around. And it's definitely going to be interesting because this is definitely going to be really great for the Eastern Conference that they have made an addition to a new superstar in that side balancing. I think
obviously the team that the conference I should say that I expect that I would say would have a better shot at getting someone else in there besides the Cavs is obviously the East with you have the Celtics and you just have all these teams.
Yeah, that are like the same level of a mediocre to okay, and the Clippers have actually been a pretty good surprise because I mean they traded Chris Paul, one of the best point guards, really in our generation, and now they traded Blake Griffin, and now all you really have superstar wise from that Lob City just 5'3" 2 years ago is DeAndre Jordan, and now you got a couple just role players, and I mean they're hanging around in that playoff picture, and I don't think they're going to tank, but I think they're trying to get themselves either a better pick or they're deciding, hey, you know what, we're rebuilding. This team obviously hasn't won how it's been built, so I mean we might as well change things up, right? I mean I think that's what the Clippers mindset was, and I mean I think if I have to pick one winner, I think it's definitely the Clippers.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean they're able to change up their entire roster. They really are.
Yeah, I mean a great addition. I mean Tobias Harris is a really good small forward. I'd say in the league bottom tier of the top 10, and very solid starter. And small forward's probably been the weakest position for the Clippers for God how knows long now.
Yeah.
So
they're able to fix up a lot of things with that trade.
It was a pretty good trade for both sides. I don't know how much it's really going to impact the league as much as everyone thinks it's going to. But definitely exciting to see Blake Griffin in a new face in a new place.
Yeah. So. And now with that, we're going to go over to the NHL as the AllStar Weekend is now over. The league's best had a few days down in Tampa to show off their skills. The Pacific Division won the whole tournament as they defeated the Atlantic 5-2 in the final. The skills competition was incredible as well. What are your thoughts on the AllStar Weekend, Joe?
The All-Star Weekend's always fun, and I think that the NHL's done a great job recently in making it a whole lot more interactive and more fun for the players and the fans. That I mean, they've kind of done what the NBA has done, and I think still NBA has the best All-Star Weekend. It's always exciting and fun to see that between the three-point dunk and whatever. But with the NHL now, they're doing the skill shot and the 3-on-3, and I think that's really
it's great. It's great.
So I think that's really great, and that's my thought on the All-Star Weekend is that that they've done such a great job at making it more entertaining and actually something that the players really want to participate in.
Yeah.
So I mean,
it's been incredible. I mean, when you have guys like Alexander Ovechkin and Connor McDavid showing off everything that they have, it's always going to be something incredible.
Yeah, I know. It makes there's a lot of the great hits, and that's a part of the game that everybody loves in hockey. But I mean, also like the trick shots and all that, that and the flashiness. That's kind of where that comes. And I mean, in a league where the pizzazz is not as much as like the NFL, where there's like the celebrations and zany wide receivers and stuff, and in the NBA where you really have like pretty much every player is their own type of character. I mean, this is kind of loosening up a kind of, I think, uptight league a little bit.
Yeah, I would say that as well. The other thing is, I mean, obviously when you have just some incredible talent there that just doesn't get spread enough throughout America. I mean, you have the most multicultural league. You have people from
from like the
from
Czech
Czech Republic,
Canada, Russia, USA.
US. I mean, all of Europe, pretty much, especially Northern Europe. You have a lot of that there, and just combining that all together into something amazing is just it's truly something incredible to watch.
Yeah, I totally agree.
And that's just I think we should just end it off there. That's gonna wrap it up for this week in sports. For Joe Forbes, I'm Jack Kroll. We'll see you next time, and have a great day.
Should I get a set of white wall tires? Are you gonna cruise the Miracle Mile? Nowadays you can't be too sentimental. Your best bet's a true baby blue Continental. Hot